In this video, I'm doing a commentary on a match between Dana Nazarian and Ryan Rebelo. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Please let me know what you think in the comments below and what you'd like to see in future videos so I can work on that. Thank you to Bill Riles and Tara Mendocino of Point Backgammon for allowing me to use this video in the commentary. My book, Backgammon Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description to where you can get it, and if you're interested in lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is in the description. Dana Nazarian and Ryan Rebelo are two of my good friends and two of the best players in the world. This is from the UBC USA Championship at the Texas Backgammon Championships 2024 in San Antonio, Texas. An outstanding event run by my good friend Bill Riles and Tara Mendocino. People really love this tournament. I definitely recommend it. Playing on a beautiful board. I'm not sure the manufacturer of this one, but it's one of my favorite colors. Cream background with black and red points. Ryan is playing the red checkers at the bottom. Dana is playing the white checkers at the top. This is the UBC format. So groups of players play each other in a round robin or Swiss format, and there's 7-point matches. The winner gets 1 point, and the player who gets the better PR also gets a point. So you have to win and also play well. So this is a 7-point match. Thank you to my viewers for helping me adjust the settings here. You see the camera on the main portion of the screen, the names of the players above and below, along with their pip count and scores. In this video, the player cams are on the right side, above and below, and the clock is on the right, and I have enlarged the dice to the right. The XG feed is on the lower left, and my camera is on the upper left. So this is the first game of a 7-point match. 0-0 to 7, or 7 away, 7 away. After some development, now Dana rolls a 4-3. So he covers with a 3 and he anchors up with a 4. Ryan still has a checker on the bar. He needs a 3. He doesn't get it. He rolls a 6-5, comes in with the 5. That's forced. The best he can do is continue, but it looks like it was better to hit loose because of White's board. So 6-4, he's able to play 13-3, covering his 3-point. Now he has a nice 4-point board. Okay, Ryan rolls a 6-1. So he'd like to safety that blot, but then he'd leave a blot elsewhere afterwards with the 1. So he makes his bar point. Now, Dana is looking at possibly doubling. Turns out this is a small double. So he does have a stronger board. He's ahead 12 pips in the race. The goalkeeper in the back is kind of a mixed blessing because it is something that he needs to worry about, but at the same time it provides coverage of Ryan's side of the board. He is shooting at a blot he can hit with a 2 or also a 5-4. And he has a 4-point board. Dana is very deliberate. I've had both of these gentlemen on my channel in the Backgammon with Grandmasters series. He does decide to roll. He rolls a 5-3. He just advances the back checker. He needs to get it moving. Ryan's looking to hit. He rolls a 3-1, so that can hit from the 14-point. So he safeties the 1, and he looks to see if he should play 6-3 or hit. He does decide to hit. 6-3 for Dana. So the 3 is forced, and he's going to hit loose on his deuce. Loose on the deuce. 4-1. Now Ryan dances. Okay, so now there's a doubling decision. Now it's a little bit different because Ryan has a checker on the bar. Dana has a 4-point board with 1 point slotted, and Dana is shooting at another blot. This is a big pass. Ryan correctly passes. So Dana takes a 1-0 lead. 6 away, 7 away. People have asked to see the summary, so this is the summary for the game on the XG feed, and this is for the match. Ryan opens the next game with a 6-5, running the back checkers with a lover's leap. Dana replies with a 6-1, making his bar point. 3-2 for Ryan, so he can bring 2 down, nicely unstacking that heavy midpoint. Midpoint starts with 5 checkers. Now he added a 6th one, so it becomes much more urgent, and it provides good outfield coverage. So he brings 1 down. Looks like it's slightly better to hit loose. That does make sense because that allows him to take advantage of Ryan's blots in the outfield should he miss. If he does not hit, he gives Ryan his full roll. And notice that with rolls like 3-1, 5-1, 6-1, 4-1, they're productive in 2-1. So this takes away half of his roll. Turned out actually the other one was better, just because the 2 checkers in Ryan's outfield were far back. So Ryan comes in with a 3-2, makes his 11 point. Slightly better to make the 10 point because it's a better offensive point. Now Dana rolls a 6-2. So he anchors up the butterfly anchor. That's termed by that term is coined by Michihito Kageyama. And now Ryan rolls a double 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Makes his 5 point, makes his 10 point. Now he just needs to worry about that stack on a 6 point with the stripped outfield points. 6-2 for Dana. So he can hit, but he's outboarded and he leaves a blot on the board. Nevertheless, that is the right play. (5-1). He comes in and hits, and with the 5 he hits again. Nice play. 2 on the bar against the 2-point board with another blot. Double 4, great roll. So he's forced to come in with 2, and he can hit that blot on the 17 point, and then where's the final 4? He's just going to have to bring both out, consolidating, and making that 17 point anchor. That's what he does. 4-2 for Ryan. Okay, so here he has choices as to whether to enter with the 4 or the 2. Well, what's he going to do with the other half of the number? Yeah, he can anchor. Looks like XG wanted him to come in with the 4 and hit loose with the stronger board. Okay, 5-4. He makes his 9 point. Nice play. Nice solid 4 prime. It's going to make it hard for Ryan to escape his back checkers. 5-2. This is not a productive roll. He can make his ace point. Looks like, yeah, he could do that too, but that's just giving up too much. Best play is to play 10-3. It creates a 3-point board. It does leave a 2 to hit, but the 2s are nicely duplicated on the other side to hit 6-4 on Dana's side. He does make his ace point. Looks like he had a double there. He rolls a 6-1. 6-1 of his own for Ryan. He's able to hit and come out. Takes care of 2 things he needs to do. You can see the nice ZMF clock with the LED digital display on the right side. These are really nice clocks. So Dana dances with a 5-1 and a double 4 for Ryan. So first thing he does is cover, or make his 2 point, and then he plays 13-5. 5-2. He dances again. Ryan's not quite there for a double yet. He still has work to do. 2-1. So he just advances the 2 back checkers. Dana wants to come in now. 5-3. Okay, so he comes in and he's able to just Safety that blot. That was a good roll. Now it's about a 50-50 game. 4-2 for Ryan. What can he do? He just safeties that checker, keeps that checker on the 15 point to maintain some connectivity with the two back checkers. Dana needs a 7 to hit. 4-1, he's able to point on head. That makes it moves forward the prime, makes a 2-point board and unstacks the heavy 6-point. 4-2, he comes in with the 4 and plays 6-4. Now 2-1 for Dana. I think he's just going to have to shuffle his checkers on his side just to improve his distribution. Like that, or he could have gone 9-8, 7-5. Ryan's not thinking about doubling, he was just looking at his phone. Okay, so 5-4 brings it in, 15-6. 3-1 for Dana. So he can play behind, or because Ryan has that blot, he can afford to actually play 17-14. Double one. So first thing is make the 4-point, then you can either slot the 3-point or shift, but better to keep the better point in the board. So he's going to play 10-9. (5-3). He's just going to play behind and make his board. Notice how Ryan is stripped. (3-2). He just shifts. Always look for those plays. Make sure you see them. 2-1. He can make his board or play 17-4. He does decide to make his board. 5-2 for Ryan. He's just got to break that. So now Dana has complete outfield control. It's going to make it hard for Ryan to bring his checkers home. Okay, so 6-1. He's not going to play on his side of the board unless he wants to break his 7-point, but that's not good. He can play the 6 from 17-11, but then he doesn't want to advance it further because that leaves a direct 6. He does this, so now Ryan's looking for a 6-1 or a double 6. Doesn't get it. He rolls a 5-1. Just going to break his board. Look at that. Because of all those blots, it's better to actually come out and maintain his board. Dana rolls a 6-5, so this is a little awkward because he can bring two checkers to the 11-point, but that's not good for containment. He's got to keep a checker back. So if he plays 11-6, that's a nice place to put the spare. You generally want to put a spare on the 6-point when you have a structure like that. If you put a spare on the 7-point, it becomes a little awkward, and a spare on the 5 is a little too deep. He's just looking to do that and then play the 6 from 17-11. Of course, he doesn't want to play 16-10 because that leaves a direct 6 shot. He's looking at it again. Dana is very deliberate. That's part of what makes a good player so good. They consider all of their moves and make sure they don't miss anything. That's one of the most common errors people make, is missing something because they don't see it. So now with the 6-4, it's time to run, but that's hard to do. He's just going to break his board. He's looking at it. He is ahead 12 pips in the race. Now 22 pips. Okay, so now Dana is looking at possibly doubling. This is actually a big double and a relatively small take. He does decide to roll. He rolls a 4-2 and just brings it in 11-5. 3-1. He's just going to play 5-1. Now Dana has another doubling decision. Now it's still a strong double. These are hard to find because he knows he's down 20 pips in the race. We can see that, but I'm sure he's counted it himself. He does decide to roll. He rolls a 5-4, so he can come down with 16-7 or keep that for protection of the outfield and make his stronger board with making the ace point with the 5-4. That's what he does. Double 4, he can't move. Now Dana has another doubling decision. Now it's turned into a pass. So basically in these doubling decisions, you want to see what's going to happen in the next sequence. Despite the fact that he's behind in the race by 11 pips, he's going to probably bring that checker on the 16 point around somewhere. And then Ryan's going to have to abandon that anchor with any 5 or any 6. Also his 4s are killed, so 4s cannot play for Ryan. So that'll slow him down. That'll help Dana's racing chances. Additionally, Ryan has deep checkers in his points, so that's going to slow down his bear off. It'll be more inefficient. So the racing lead is deceptive in that way. He does decide to roll. He rolls a double 1. And he can spread out his checkers. Now Ryan needs a 6-5. No, 4-1. He can't move the 4. So he just plays 3-2. Now Dana's thinking about it a little bit more. Turned out a little bit better for Dana now because he has an easier time bringing that back checker home. The race is closer. This turns out to be a pass. So Ryan's thinking about it. Oftentimes when the race is relatively close, you consider taking. But it's a little deceptive because of those buried checkers deep in Ryan's inner board. What could happen is either Ryan will have to abandon the anchor and Dana will either hit or continue playing. So let's see what happens. Now he takes double 1. So what can he do with this? He's got to move something, which he would actually prefer not to. If he plays 2 to the 7 point, he can play 15 to 13. That'll allow him to safety the blot on the midpoint with a 6. That gives Ryan 9, 6-3 or 5-4. No, 6-2. The 6 is forced, and he's just going to continue. Now, Dana needs a 1, 2, or 3. 6-4, 2-1. Perfect roll. So he's going to hit, and he's thinking about hitting a second checker, but it's better to just close the board and try to get it next. Double 5. He just brings everything in. Now his spare distribution is rather awkward. Not a lot of gammons. He rolls a 5-4. Clears a 6 point. Ryan needs to come in. No, he rolls a 5-1. 3-1. Bears off 2 checkers. 3-1 for Ryan. He can't move. 4-3. He can clear the 4 point or clear the 5 point. 6-2. Ryan's able to come in. That's going to save a lot of gammons. 6-1. Now 6-4. Looks like the game is virtually gin, and Ryan is likely to save the gammon. So Dana will go up 3-0 4 away, 7 away. I always tell people the away score is more important than the absolute score. Here this is a 7-point match, so the current score is 1-0. And let's see, it's 1-0, but each player needs 7 so to reach the goal of winning the match. So now it's 3-0, so Dana needs 4 to get to the goal, so he's a 4 away. Ryan needs 7, so Ryan is 7 away. So the away score is 4 away, 7 away. That's very important to know and understand because that affects match strategy. So Dana opens with a 6-2 split. The double 2, this is the standard reply, unstacking both points, both heavy points, and making 2 strong points. Dana replies with a 3-1, making his 5-point nicely. 4-2, he's able to hit loose on the bar point. Now Dana's on the bar, double 4, he dances. Alright, so now he's looking. This is a borderline no double. So Ryan is ahead in the race by 9 pips. He has 11 checkers in the zone, so he's threatening to make his 5-point. That'll make the rack. But he has 2 checkers still on the 24-point. That makes a difference. And Dana has the 5-point. That makes a big difference. This is a very comfortable take. He rolls a 4-1. He's going to cover and split the back checkers. Now 5-3 for Dana. So he doesn't want to come in with the 5 because that'll be under the gun. He comes in with the 3, and he can play 13-8. Looks like it was a little better to play 6-1 hitting. 6-5. Good roll for Ryan. He's able to anchor on the 18-point. That's a very solid long-term asset. 5-4 for Dana. Not productive. He'll have to play on his side. Looks like XG prefers stepping up with 24-20. That's a tough one to find. So now 6-4 for Ryan. Yeah, he can make the 2-point. Look at that. XG prefers clearing the midpoint because of that blot on the other side. And the stack 6-point for Dana. 4-2, that's an outstanding roll. That was his second best roll. The only better roll would have been double 2, where he could have done the same thing and made his 4-point. So now 5-1. He's going to play the 5 in and split with 4-3 for lack of a better alternative. He'll probably be able to cover that soon. 4-3 for Dana. So he sees those 2 blots in Ryan's board. So he can play aggressive by playing 8-4 like that and unstacking and slotting the next point. And that's what he does. Nice play. Oh no, he's looking at double unstacking. He goes back and looks. In this tournament, they have 5 simultaneous live streams. That's unprecedented. Bill, Riles, and Tara Mendocino are the king and queen of live streaming. Usually there's 1 stream in a tournament, sometimes 2. But this has never been done. 5 simultaneous live streams. There was commentary on one of the streams, but this is one of the ancillary streams where there's no commentary. So now double 5, not a productive roll. So he's behind by 18 pips. So after the roll, he'll be ahead by 2 pips. So that will technically be behind in the race. So he's looking at that. The other thing is, if you look at all of Ryan's points in the outfield, they're all stripped. On the bar point, the midpoint, and the 18 point. So that's a rather brittle or inflexible structure. Something's got to give. So XG prefers making the 3 point and the 1 point. So 5-2. There he's going to make his 4 point with the 2 and slot his ace point with the 5. 6-3 for Dana. He's got to play off his 8 point. He doesn't want to leave a shot. Double 4, that's a good roll. He's behind by 4, so now he's going to be ahead by 12 pips in the race, and that's a great racing number. He's able to advance his anchor from the 18 point to the 14 point without breaking an anchor. He just moves the anchor. He still has an anchor on the 14 point. So he's leaving no shots here. They did an outstanding commentary on the mainstream with Justin Noel, and Ryan Rebelo actually helped out with the commentary while he was on break, and that was actually very outstanding and entertaining to watch. They had a lot of fun together. Alright, so 5-1. He plays 6-1, and any of the ones are fine. This one does make the 5 point board. Now Ryan rolls a double 3, so he can just clear all the way, but he's looking at getting the extra 2 crossovers because the contact is minimal with that 1 point. The plays are close. He just wants to, that's helpful for the race when you get the crossovers from the outer board to the inner board. Alright, double 1, not a good racing roll. 6-3 is able to clear. I'm sorry, that was a 4-3. Now 5-1 comes in all the way. 2-1. So he can bring 2 checkers in or make the 5 point. Making the 5 point is a little bit better when you have that big stack on the 6 point and a semi gap, a single checker on the 5 point. Just for bear off efficiency. These are minor details. 4-3. He's going to fill in that gap. That semi gap, I call it. Gap is when there are no checkers on the point. Semi gap is when there's one. Now the double 2. As long as he brings one in, it's fine. 4-1. Okay, so now they're bearing off. Dana's going to need some good dice. 6-5, not bad. He's going to need a little more. Ryan bears off 2 checkers with a 5-2. 5-3 bears off 1 and fills in the gap on the 3 point with 6-3. Ryan bears off 2 checkers with a 3-2. Now 5-3 is able to bear off another checker since he filled that gap. 5-1 bears off 1 checker. 6-5 getting closer. He's going to bear off 1 with 6-1, 6 off with the 5-1. 5-3, not a good roll. He's got to play both off his 6 point without bearing off a checker. Now Ryan's a big favorite. Only 5 checkers remaining. Bears off 2 nicely with a 6-4. Double 1 bears off 3 checkers, but it's a little, too late. Last one hardly matters, but 4-3 is slightly better. Dana lives in the Northern California area. I believe the San Francisco Bay Area. Specifically, I believe San Jose, if I'm not mistaken. And Ryan is from Canada, near the Montreal area. He's currently in school, not in Montreal, but not far from Montreal, about an hour outside of Montreal. I'm not sure exactly what city. He takes 2 off. Now he needs Ryan to roll an ace. He doesn't. That's it. That secures the game. So Ryan gets 2 points. So now it's 3-2 in favor of Dana. 4 away, 5 away. In a match, typically the leader wants to be a little bit more conservative and the trailer more aggressive with both checker plays and doubling decisions. However, at this score, 4 away, 5 away, the leader can be a little bit more aggressive with the cube because a doubled gammon wins him the match with perfect efficiency. So he's 4 away. He wants exactly 4 points. If he gets 5 or 6 points to get to 8 or 9 points or anything more than 7, that's going over what he needs. So that's called overage. He doesn't need it. It's wasteful. With the double 3, he can play up, but it's better to actually make the 2 interboard points, leaving the blots. Looks like he didn't want to leave those blots. Now double 3 for Dana. So he can come out and hit and then just bring one around. 14-11, nice play. Double 1, so he comes in with 1 and he advances that anchor. That puts pressure. And then 6-5. Puts pressure on the blot on Dana's 11 point. Double 2, so he's going to make the 4 point and make the 11 point. That cleans up everything. 3-1, so he makes that 5 point, and then he's just going to spread his checkers out, diversify his checkers, giving him more productive rolls on his next play. 6-1, that's a good roll for Dana, makes his bar point. 6-3, he's going to come down and slot the 4 point, the next point he wants to make. Dana's looking at possibly doubling. So he's winning 70% of the time. This is a 20-point holding game. So Ryan has his 20 point, but he also has a goalkeeper on the 24 point. Some people call that a dragon with the tail. So he's looking at the racing lead. He does have a 16 pip lead in the race. Because of the score, it gets close to a double, but not quite a double yet. If he wins a double gammon, that's the match perfectly, but there are not a lot of gammons. However, if he just wins a single game on a 2 cube, he'll get to the valuable 2 away score, which is nice. So he rolls a 6-5, brings 2 down, big number. Now Ryan rolls a 2-1, poor racing number. So now another doubling decision. Now he's up by 24 pips, and he has spares on his 6, 7, and 8 points, which can be used to attack or make an interboard point like the 3 point or the 2 point. He does double, and his midpoint is the next point he wants to clear, so it's stripped. So he can clear that with a 6-5, 6-2, 5-2, or any form of doubles other than double 1, double 6, double 5, double 4, double 3, double 2. That's when you want to start thinking about doubling against the 20-point holding game. You want to have a good racing lead. And having 4 checkers or 2 checkers on the midpoint is important, because then you can clear it, and that'll lose your market with usually doubles. Double 6, that's a great roll. Okay, so he gets rid of that goalkeeper and gains a lot in the race. 5-4, not a good roll for Ryan because he comes in advanced, and now all Dana needs to do is clear that 11 point. Can't do it quite yet with the 5-2. He's just going to play inside. (4-2). He can come out with those 3 blots in Dana's board. So Dana can't hit with rolls like 3-2, 4-2, 5-2. 5-4 is a good roll. He clears that point. Now it's smooth sailing for Dana. Dana's a huge favorite, 94%. Ryan is buried in this race and is very unlikely to get a shot from here. But anything is possible in backgammon. It's not over till it's over. 4-3 is going to bring 2 in. 4-1, that allows Dana to clear his bar point. Now he has 6 checkers on the 6 point. Nothing's going to leave a shot next. Dana rolls a 2-1, bears off 2 checkers. Notice that he does not play 6-4. That'll leave him odd on the highest point. So a double 5 or double 6 would leave a shot. You don't want to do that. Double 4 was not a good roll for Ryan, despite the fact that it gained him in the race. 3-1, he's just keeping those 6 checkers on the 6 point for safety. Bears off 2 checkers. Ryan does decide to run off. 3-1. So it looks like Dana's going to get 2 points to get to 5. 5-2. 2 away, 5 away. 2 away, 5 away is an interesting score because the leader has a low take point. He can take in a non-gammonish position with virtually anything, because then he'll win the match with perfect efficiency. Two away, 5 away is the score in a 5-point match where the leader has the lowest take point. A low take point means you can take with a low chance of winning the game. So here he can play the 6-3 and then the 4 off, like that. Double 3 is a good roll for Ryan. So Dana did miss. Ryan will need double 2s or better. No, he gets a 5-3. So on to the next game. 5-2 in favor of Dana. 2 away, 5 away. Dana opens with a 5-3, making his 3-point. 6-5 for Ryan, standard play. Just run a checker all the way back. Your major liability in the opening are the 2 back checkers. So 6-5 allows you to take care of that. Little better to split here. 3-1. So now he has the option of hitting or making his 5-point. Making the 5-point is always something to consider. However, what it does is it strips his 8-point, and this allows him to partially advance his remaining back checker and send a 3rd checker back. Those are always tough decisions. Now 6-3 for Dana. He makes his 5-point and then he advances. You see Ryan only has 8 checkers in the zone, so it's not that dangerous. However, now with a 6-3, if he runs with 24-15, that duplicates the hitting 3s with the anchoring 3s. This one's hard to find the right play. The right play is hitting loose, partially because it gets him off the edge of the prime, and it unstacks that heavy 6-point. So 5-2, just going to play 13-6. Looks like the bot wanted him to advance his back checker. 3-1 brings one down. He's looking for a 7 or a 10. 7. He hits with a 5-2. Nice roll for Dana. 6-4. So the 4 is forced, and he can either come out and continue. Despite the fact that he's behind in the race, it is better to come out. This just gives him more numbers. He can already hit with 4s and 2s on that side, and now he's giving him a 6. The other way, it'll only be 4s and 3s. This does allow him to unstack the six checkers on the midpoint. This is the right play, coming out all the way. Because if he's missed, he can escape his back checker all the way to safety. He's thinking about it. He does decide to slot the bar point. 6-4. He's able to hit, and he can hit twice, but it's better to just continue. Gives him a solid advantage. 3-2. The 2 is forced, and he's going to come down with the 3. Now is too good to double. He just wants to win a doubled gammon, an undoubled gammon, a natural gammon. 6-1, he clears. Now 4-1. (6-2), he comes in safely. 5-1. He can unstack, spread his builders, and bring one down. That's what he does. 6-3. He's going to point on head. That's a good roll. 6-4 for Ryan. So he comes in and plays 9-3. Now he had a double, but it's hard to double these. It's a very small double. He just rolls and plays 4-1. 6-2 for Ryan. He makes his 3-point, slots the next point. Now again, Dana has a small double, but it's very hard to double in these situations. Partially it's better to double here at the score of 2 away, 5 away, as opposed to a score like 2 away, 4 away. The reason is because when you double as the leader at 2 away, the opponent, the trailer, has an automatic redouble. So if Dana doubles to 2 and Ryan takes, he would automatically redouble. And this is a relatively non-gammonish position, so the best that Ryan could likely do would be get 4 points, which takes him from 2 to 6, which would be 1 away, 2 away Crawford, which would be Gammon's save. The Crawford rule states that when one player gets to within 1 point of winning the match, in this case the match is to 7. Great roll by Dana. When one player gets 6 points, there's no doubling for 1 game. I think that lost his market. He rolled a 6-5. Now it's almost too good to double, but it's a double and a pass. In a money game, they use the Jacoby rule, which states that you cannot win a gammon unless the cube has been turned. But that's not the case in a match. So you can win an undoubled gammon. That's also called a natural gammon. So now it's 6-2. It's the Crawford game. Because Dana is at 6, which is 1 away from 7, it's the Crawford game. So no doubling for 1 game. And if Ryan wins this game, he will be able to double at his first opportunity. So now a 2-1. Looks like the best play is actually that and making the 11 point. But it's very natural to hit loose. Now, in a match, it's generally better to be an even away score than an odd away score. The reason is because if you're 2 away, for example, you can win the match with winning a single game on a 2 cube or a gammon on a centered cube. But when you're 3 away, you cannot. You can get to 1 away, which would be likely the Crawford game, but you cannot win. Or if you're at 4 away, a double gammon will win you the match, but that does not happen when you're 5 away. So even away scores are more valuable in general. So what happens is when you're at the Crawford game at an odd away score, a gammon does not help you so much because it gets you to another odd away score. But a single game is fine. So you don't want to take additional risks to possibly win a gammon unnecessarily because it doesn't give you all that much extra. So 6-5, he plays to the 14 point. 5-4 for Dana. Not a productive roll. He could play 24 to 15. The advantage of that is it does make an anchor in Ryan's outfield, or he can play like this and leave the blot in front of the stripped anchor, which he wants Ryan to break. He would have to give up a valuable asset to hit. And he hits twice. So now Dana's looking for a 4 or a double 2. He doesn't get it, but he comes in with both. 5-1. Ryan's looking to attack. 4-3. He's able to do that. Make the 4 point and hit loose. Dana wants a 5 to come in and hit. No, he gets a 6-2. 2-6 from the bar. That's a Ray Fogelin. He's forced to come in with a 2. The reason why he says that is because 2-6 from the bar is usually awkward because you're forced to come in with a 2, and usually the opponent has the 8 points, so you cannot continue with that. In this case, he does not. Now with the 4-2, he can just hit loose there, and the trailer can play more aggressively here. 5-4 is a nice roll. He can hit twice or he can anchor. The reason why the trailer can play more aggressively is because losing a gammon does not cost him any more than losing a single game. Because if Dana wins a gammon, he gets 8 points, which is no different than 7 points. So it's called overage or wastage. You don't need it. He does decide to anchor, secures that long-term asset. Double 6, Ryan dances, cannot come in. When you roll a double 6 and you cannot come in from the bar, it's called dancing. Sometimes they say fanning or flunking. These are some of the terms. Alright, 6-2. So, what can he do? He can hit with the 2 in 2 different places. And they're all very close. 6-5 for Ryan. Comes in with 1. Now Dana has the initiative. He can attack. Double 1. That's a good roll. He does that. And then, yeah, it doesn't matter what else. He's just going to spread out his builders to try to make the 5 point. 4-3. Comes in with 1 checker. Still another checker on the bar. Dana's looking to continue the attack. Double 6. That's a great roll. He's able to point out ahead, put a second checker on the bar, and he could hit another checker, or he can make another board point. Look at that. That's what's best because Ryan already has 2 checkers on the bar. He's just bringing ammo down to complete the blitz. Ryan comes in with a 6-1. That's actually a nice place to come in. 5-2. So he can hit twice, but he could also make his 5 point. He does really want to make the 5 point. Putting all these checkers on the bar is sometimes a blessing, but sometimes it's in disguise. because it doesn't tend to work out. All those checkers gives Ryan time to come back. So he does make his 5 point. Ryan dances with a 6-5. Looking for a closeout. There, he makes his ace point now. Ryan dances with a 4-1. 5-4. He's just going to bring builders down. He can bring one down, 13-8. Now he can make his 2 point with 6s, 5s, and 4s. Double 6 also works. Ryan dances with a 5-4. 5-3. He can just bring another one around. Yeah, that keeps the double 6. It also gives the double 4 to make the 2 point. You always want to look at these numbers, the doubles. Nope, that's cocked. Dice on checkers are not valid. He rolls again. Double 2. Outstanding roll. He brings in all 4 checkers. Now Dana can't complete the closeout, and he's got to do something safe because he has all these blots now, despite the fact that he has a stronger board. So that was a 5-2. Looked like they didn't see it. Ryan switched it to a 4-2. If you go back and look on the camera, which I did, it was originally a 5-2. But he changed it to a 4-2. Double 5. So he hits one. He hits another one. Ryan is smiling. So now Dana has 2 checkers on the bar. Dana's in big trouble now because he's going to have a hard time bringing those 2 checkers that are currently on the bar all the way around and home. He's just going to bring checkers down. And he'll want to bring one to his 8 point. There you go. 5-1 comes in with 2 checkers, but now Ryan has some targets. 3-1, nice roll. He's able to make the 5 point on head. He does make the rack, the 4, 5, and 6 points. That term was coined by Bill Roberti in his new book series, How to Play the Opening in Backgammon. Double 2 for Dana. He comes in with 1, advances, and then brings 2 in. Things are going to start getting awkward for Dana. But he does have a 5 point board. 4-2. He's going to make that blocking point, the 9 point, and he's going to have to play safe. But this one is fine too. Gives him a lot of good outfield coverage. 3-1. Does he want to make that anchor? Looks like it is slightly better to make the anchor despite the fact that it's blocked by 6s. 6s become killed. But he is looking to possibly hit some checkers in Ryan's outfield if Ryan leaves fly shots with all those loose blots scattered around the outfield. The nice thing about 6-5 is, should Ryan ultimately break the anchor, Dana would have a lot of flexibility. So he makes some blocking points. Now with the 4-2, he's got to play out, and then with the 2, he can play 6-4, or actually prefers 3-1. But they're close. No, actually prefers 6-4. He plays 3-1. Okay, now 5-4. So, because those outfield points are stripped, he doesn't have a lot of flexibility to do something. He doesn't want to leave the 7 shot by bringing 14-5, although it's close. Hitting would be an overplay. He's just got to clear the 9 point like that. And he doesn't want to run the back checker. He's looking at 14-5. This is reasonable. although it does leave double 6 and 7s. 6, 1, 5, 2, and 4, 3. So that's 7 numbers. Notice Dana's time is relatively low, less than 2 minutes. He is very deliberate. Okay, so double 6 was blocked. That's forced. So now he can hit with 6s and 5s. 5-1. Great roll for Ryan. He hits both checkers. Dana's on the bar. Double 5. He dances. Can't come in. 6-2 for Ryan. He's going to make that 4th blocking point. So now he has a solid 4 prime and spreads out his back checkers. 2-1. He comes in with both checkers. That's completely forced. Now 6-1 for Ryan. So he'd like to have made his 3-point. He can't, but he brings another spare. Dana's looking for a 6. No, double 3. That's a bad roll because he can't move his back checkers. Can't play off his 5-point. So those are forced. 2 of them are forced from the 6-point, 1 from the 3-point, and the 2 plays are tied in terms of the last checker, whether it's to play 6-3 or 4-1. Double 1, good roll. So now he's able to make those with the first 3, makes the 3-point. He cannot hit, and he'll just advance that checker from 12 to 11. Dana is going to need aces on both sides. He does roll a 2-1, so he's going to make that anchor. 3-1 for Ryan. He cannot hit. He's just going to play in there, give himself some more builders should Dana run, and he does with the 6-3, and it hits. Look at that. Smack. Ryan's looking for a 4. He gets it. That's a 3rd checker back, and the 6 he advances. Ryan's going to get a lot of gammons here, although they are not that valuable because they'll get him to 3 away, which is not much better than 4 away. All he loses is the free drop. 6-1, he comes in and hits. 6-1 for Ryan. He just plays to the 18-point. Double 4, that's completely forced. Ryan's looking for a 4. No, he gets a 6-3. Now Ryan's a huge favorite. This game really turned around. Another Fogerland. 2-6 from the bar. Now 5-3. Comes in with the 5, and he can hit loose. That's what he does. Double 5. Dana dances. 3-2. Okay, so he hits another one, and he'll just bring one forward. He's looking to see how double 5s play. Double 1, good roll. So he comes in and advances. 5-3 for Ryan. Comes in with the 5. Doesn't really matter what he does with the 3. He blocks the double 5s. Double 3, that's completely forced all the way around to the 8-point. 5-3, he hits, sends a 3rd checker back, and 5 spreads out his checker, providing good outfield coverage. Dana fans with a 6-3, double 2. Okay, so now what he wants to do is bring builders, aiming for the next point he wants to make at the back of his prime on his 8-point. So now he can make the back of the prime with the 6, 5, or 4. Any combination of those. 5-4, just like that. Now he has a full prime. Those back checkers are stuck. Can't move with a 6-3. 3-1. So now he's just going to bring things around. Dana is looking for a 1. No, he gets a 6-5. 6-5 for Ryan as well. Having that checker on the 6-point, a spare on the 6-point, is very valuable. That's going to help his long-term flexibility. In the bear off and before, Dana cannot move with a double 5. 6-4. Now, once you have a spare there, looks like it was a little better to come to the 5-point. 4-1. Now he makes his 3-point board. Might have to break it soon if he rolls a 2. Double 1. Okay, so that's actually not bad. 4-1. Makes his ace point. Better just come in. 3-1. Okay. So now Ryan may perform a trap play, but no. He's just going to come in with a double 3. Looks like it was better to clear both points. Double 1, that's 4. So now there are no more blots that he can leave. 4-2, he safely clears his 8-point. Now 6-4, he runs. 6-1, he's going to bear off a checker. Ryan's a huge favorite now. Double 4 is completely forced. 5-4 bears off 2 checkers. Forced to run with the 5-1. Now 3-1. He bears off a checker. 5-1, he runs with 17-11, keeps that back checker just in case. 4-3 is not a good roll. Very awkward here because he's going to leave a blot. If he plays off his 4-point, then he's going to leave a blot somewhere. He can play 2 off the 6-point, 2 off the 5-point, 2 off the 4-point, 1 off the 4, 2 bears off 2 checkers with a 4-3. Looks like all the plays are close. Can't move with a 6-4. He danced 5-1. He's going to clean up. Dana's looking for a shot to hit. He needs a 6, a 5-1, or a 4-2. That's 15 numbers. No, he dances with a 4-3. Double 5. Great roll for Ryan. Clears and bears off the checkers. 2-1. It's forced. He comes in. Dana's hoping Ryan rolls a 1. No, 6-2. That's essentially gin. So he's just rolling it out to see if he can save the gammon. 4-3. He's going to need some doubles. No, 3-1. So Ryan wins a gammon, goes to 4-6 post-Crawford. So now after the Crawford game, Ryan can double at his first opportunity. So it's 1 away, 3 away, Crawford. Post-Crawford, sorry. So 2-1, Ryan slots. 2-1, reply. Best play is to counter slot, but splitting is close. Alright, Ryan doubles. Dana takes. It's an automatic double. 6-5. So now Ryan is looking for a gammon to win the match. 4-1. So he makes the point, makes the 5-point, plays 13-9. 6-4, good roll for Ryan. He hits. 6-5, he dances. That was a bad sequence. Double 5 for Ryan. That's great. Brings one down, and he's going to make his 3-point. Brings a lot of attackers into the zone. 12 checkers. 6-4. So the 4 is forced. He comes in, and he comes out. 4-2 for Ryan. He can't hit, but he makes his 4-point. He makes the barrel, the best 4-point board. 5-3. Can't do anything about his back checkers. He can make that point, the 10-point, clean up. Double 3, great roll. Now he makes the solid prime. Or he can make the 2-point. But this is better. Primes him in. 3-1. Dana makes his bar point. Double 1. He's going to advance all the way and play 9-8. That brings a builder for the 2-point. 2-1 for Dana. He's able to hit and make the 9-point, so now he has a 5 prime. 4-1, good roll. Hits, comes to the edge of the prime and plays 8-7. 6-5, Dana dances. Double 6, outstanding roll. Comes out all the way. Wow, that was great. Dana dances. Ryan's winning gammons about half the time here. 6-2, he brings 2 in. Double 1. Ryan was really behind in this match, but he's made a very big comeback. Now he has good chances to win the match in this game. Double 5 bears off 4 checkers. 6-4 for Dana. Looks like it's better to split to the 20 points. But he comes out. Now 5-2. Just plays the 2, 6-4. There's no 5. 5-4 for Dana. He's just going to come around. 6-5. Good roll for Ryan. He bears off a checker. 4-3. He's got to play on his side. He's going to make the point in his board. 6-3, good roll for Ryan. He's able to clear. Ryan's going to win a lot of gammons here. 2-1. So he can go for the gammon saving play, bringing 2 in, but better is just to make the prime. 5-4. Okay, so now that left a shot. Dana needs a 3. No, he gets a 5-1. Just going to play all the way. He's looking to safety. 4-3 does leave him odd at the top. Double 6. That's going to save some gammons, but looks like he should run. He's looking at making the 2 interboard points in the event that he gets a shot. Ryan's going to have a lot of awkward numbers that leave a shot, but usually just a single shot. There are no numbers that leave a double shot quite yet. 2, 3, 4. Double 2. Okay, so 3 of them are forced. That's one of them. That's the second one. And that's the third one. So now it's a matter of whether he plays 3-1 or 2 off. The nice thing about 3-1 is that leaves 4 checkers, so he's not going to leave a shot next. He doesn't want to take another checker off, because if he takes the checker off, then he rolls number. If Dana dances with the double 1, he'll leave a shot. Nice find. Looking for a 2. No, he gets a 6-3. And he's just trying to save the gammon. He gets a crossover. 6-5. That's it. He resigns. Congratulations to Ryan Rebelo. What an outstanding comeback. Thank you for joining me on this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, what you'd like to see in future videos, so I can work on that. Let's go to the summary and see. Outstanding play by both players. World class. Thank you again to my good friends Bill Riles and Tara Mendocino of Ace Point Backgammon for allowing me to use this video in the commentary from the San Antonio tournament, the Texas Backgammon Championships UBC USA event. Again, my book, Backgammon Backgame Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description to where you can get it. And if you're interested in lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is in the description. I look forward to seeing everyone in future videos. And until then, keep rolling your dice.